Hey all, this is Eucep again, and today I'm going to have a look at my most recently built kit, which would be the Jegan Ecoas type. It's been a fun build. It's one of the first grunt suits which I've ever built. Pretty much, I think this guy represents something similar to the Zaku within the Unicorn universe, I'm not sure. But this mobile suit is looking quite good, and I really enjoyed building it. I went a bit further than usual. Actually, I've gone into a spree of improving my Gundams all over. For most, I still had pretty much all the decals laying around, and I started to apply them. And the Jegan is the one I started it with, because, well, it does improve the looks quite a bit. I actually now want to get the decal sheet for him to improve him as well, to make him less of a white boring, boring white. So, yeah. Let's have a look at him. I've put him here with my other Gundam Unicorn 1:144 scale figures, which I have built just for scale. He's a bit taller than the average 1:144 scale, pretty much like the Gundam Unicorn itself. For comparison, here is the green frame, who's about a head shorter than the Unicorn and the Jegan. And let's put these to the side, because the focus is on the Jegan itself. The Jegan comes with some additional accessories. I've put him up the way I like him the most. And he has a load of extra spare parts. As I understood it from Prime 92's review of him, a big part of these are used to make a more normal Jegan. In fact, he even has a fake armor over his chest. So all in all, with the exception of the skirts, I believe, the front skirts, you can pretty much make a normal Jegan body. You can also see I didn't use the stickers. Instead, I opted to color stuff in with a Gundam marker, just to try it out. And I think the effect actually came out quite nicely. I didn't cut out the twin beams. As you can see, he has one shorter, one longer. I don't really understand the purpose behind it. But then again, he only has one handle, so it's probably just for whatever you like the most. He also comes with a bazooka, which I added one of the spare decals on. These were clear stickers, so quite easy to apply. But otherwise, this bazooka isn't too interesting. Just this moving part, just so he can hold it better. There's a peg system, so it slides into the hand, but this is a case where it can only fit in the right hand. The left hand side, and there's no peg. Also here is a second handle, so he can dual wield it. I haven't tried it if he can actually hold onto it, but usually these figures can do so. So let's put that to the side. As such, for his beam saber, he actually has a normal holding things hand. For both the bazooka and this handgun, he has a trigger finger hand. And as you see, you actually get this little bit of the E-plate sprue, which is designed to just pop off, and you can store the hand on it and the extra visor. Show off here. Let's see. This too I just did with Gundam marker, and also applied a little sticker over here. This one covers up the face completely, but I like the type which just is a bit upwards. I like a lot more, because you can see his visor underneath. His mono eye. This is actually one of those things which I found interesting when I built it. You get the idea, he just has a visor, but if you leave him as he is, you don't actually notice too well that there is actually a mono eye inside the head. I thought it was something where he pegs in, but the only place he pegs in is higher up in the head. And you're left with this little green tube which you barely can see through the clear plastic. So I went in and touched it up around the ring with some yellow once again, and it pops out a lot more, so you really have the idea that he actually has a mono eye inside there. So all in all, quite a nice effect. Let's show him for a moment with the full visor, which is quite nice, but I still like this one a lot more. I think that's an option part which I really like. For the decals, I'm not really sure how well it shows up, but I went over them with a clear paint, which would be Tamiya clear, and I think I should have gone all over him, because the places where I used that paint is very glossy, while other parts are just the same old plastic. On the shield you can actually see it better, where you really see splotches where I just tried to cover up the decals to protect them. But yeah, once he stands on the shelf, you cannot really see it, but it somewhat nags me. This is a place where I think perhaps getting some clear spray to really cover him entirely would have been better than to just dab some paint onto those places. I think I'm going to take the paint and cover this entire front part with the clear, just to give it a bit more even look. Right, let's go into his accessories which he currently has on, which would be a nice shield, which is on quite tightly. It has the system where you can put them on the side and on the back of the arm, pretty much used by most high-grade Universal Century kits lately. It's actually an interesting looking kit with even some grenades inside here. Looking quite good. I've given it the number 079, which is a number I use more often with my kits when I apply decals and have loose numbers. 079 is for me a lucky number, and pretty much what is it about? Well, I'm from 79. I've been born in 1979. That's all there is to that number. And then for this I have to pop off his hand. A very simple machine gun with a big clip in it. Nothing that moves on there. Also applied a decal which normally would not be there, but I had that one spare, so oh well, I thought, let's just put it on. Now for the figure itself, the head itself is on a ball joint and a swivel, so the lower part swivels, so you can do the chicken head. You can do the chicken head. It looks around pretty freely. The color slightly hampers it in some ways, but you'll usually are more often going to have a fuss with how loose this visor thingy is. The backpack is detachable, just 2 packs, and it fits in snugly. But I'd not put it on or remove it too often. I think it will wear out its fit. Oops, these two came loose. Only the middle thruster really has a tiny bit of a swivel, but it's barely noticeable. The shoulder thrusters, they can move back and forth. And that's about it for the backpack. Let's put it aside. For the arms, there is some side-to-side motion in the shoulder, up and down in the shoulder, which is very nice. Rotation, the shoulder pad moves independently, but it's very tight on this one. It's a very big joint, and it's plastic on plastic, very tight. Swivel at the bicep, a single joint in the elbow, and of course both hands are ball jointed, and you can actually put the shield on both arms if you want to. Let's see, I haven't actually tested this. Yes, this is the polycap type, where you can put the hand in more flush or pull it out for some additional reach. This is a feature which quite a lot of the newer kits have, and I really like it. Now for the waist, it's a ball joint, which is also put in deeper inside, and also of the same like the wrist, so you can pull it out a bit to give additional range of movement, or you can press it down so it's more flush and it can only rotate then. It's slightly hampered by the skirt, but not too much. You can pretty much... some really like it when you can do a full rotation. I do not. I think if it's restricted to a human movement, it's way better. The side skirts, they swivel out and can rotate somewhat with polycaps. The hips are ball joints, including the internal swivel, so you can move the entire hip part. It's hard to show properly, but I think you can just see it. They can spread out about this far, move forward pretty much entirely, barely hampered by the front skirt. There's no rear skirt at all, so he can pretty much, well, kick his own head. The knees, they are double jointed. One joint is just tiny, the other, well, let's just say you can just go over the 90, which is more than enough for a figure like this. In the ankle, there's a swivel, and below it ball joint, so it's pretty free in terms of movement. It can take on pretty much any stand, which looks pretty feasible, quite well. All in all, I think this is a very recommendable kit if you want something else than a normal Gundam. This mobile suit is just very nice to look at, and well, he's fun building. Perhaps his coloration is somewhat boring as it's military green, but then again, that's something some people actually like a lot more than just pure white mobile suit, so it's altogether what you like about him. So with all of these additional parts and all of this, yeah, you are left with quite a lot of stuff. This was Eucep. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.